Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the Diamond Moment. I'm your host, Angel Calderon, and today I'm here with Angel. Hi, Angel, how are you doing?
I'm good, Luciana, and yourself?
I'm doing great. Glad to have you here. So, I wanted to start by talking to you about your journey fighting, and I wanted to know how long have you been competing for?
So I've been training on and off since I was a kid, pretty much, and I started taking the sport seriously as far as like really training every day and whatnot, getting the fundamentals under lock and skill. Maybe about 4 years ago now, and I've been competing for almost three coming up pretty soon.
Nice. And what got you into martial arts?
Well, my dad actually, Angel Senior, he's a ex fighter himself, and boxing has always been in my life. Between him and my uncle, they both were amateur fighters in their past careers. So it's always been in my life. My dad would always have us watching the big fights on TV. Every Saturday when pay per view was like a big thing, people were buying them. People would have like fight parties. People would come over to the house and just like we watched Pacquiao and Thurman there. We watched a lot of Pacquiao fights, but Mayweather, a lot of just. It's always been in my house and my family. It's a family thing for me. It runs in my blood.
Nice. That's great to hear. So, I was gonna ask you, do you have any mentors in the sport? I kind of have an idea of what your answer is gonna be, but would you say do you have any mentors in the sport?
Absolutely, yeah. Of course, my dad was probably what you were thinking. I was going to say, oh, him for sure. My first coach, and we still get some work in here and there. I always, of course, talk to him about my career, what I'm doing, keeping him up to date and whatnot. And as far as other mentors, I would say maybe my current coach, Daniel Mendoza of Def War, the Wolves Den. Coach Dan has been a great help. He's really helped me to improve not only my striking as a fighter, but also like my mentality as a person, as a man, as a young man coming up in the world and showing me, there's things that translate from fighting and the outside world as well. So I got to give a big kudos to Coach Dan and my dad as well.
Yeah, so let's talk a little bit about your fighting style. So, how would you describe it, and how would you say it has evolved over time?
Honestly, this is something I think about, and I was thinking about it pretty recently too. Like, I don't know who I would compare myself to kind of give an idea of like a fighter you could watch and see like flashes of myself. Because I feel like I kind of just take pieces of all different fighters I like here and there. Then of course there's the way your body moves naturally that's different than someone else's movement. So, but I think my style of fighting is pretty much I'm a quote unquote pressure fighter. I like to come forward and really always bring the action. I don't really like to back down or step back. Of course, it depends on who you're fighting. You have to plan your game plan a little differently. But for the most part, I'm coming forward, I'm in your face, and we're gonna fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. So I mean, you've been fighting for a while now, and it's always been in your family. So what would you say that is one lesson that you have learned from fighting that has shaped you into who you are today?
Honestly, there's lots and lots of lessons that I could pull from that. Like I said, translate from boxing outside of the ring into real life. But I think the biggest one that I still to this day kind of struggle with, and sometimes out, is being patient. Sometimes things are not going to go your way at first. Sometimes it takes time for the pieces to fall together. So just being patient, excuse me, being patient in and out the ring are things that I've been working on, and I think is like my biggest focus for the most part. And just keeping, like I said, keeping that sharp mentality and staying patient. It'll take you a long way.
Yeah, right. Because it's not something that you only use in like, okay, I'll be patient to see what comes next. But when you're fighting too, like being patient to know when is the right time to like throw the next punch or just like when's
Move
the
your
right
hand.
time to move. Like, yeah, it's definitely something important, and I think it's a very valuable lesson. So I mean, everyone faces setbacks every now and then, especially fighting. I mean, you always go through the ups and downs, being knocked down, getting to stand back up. So how do you stay motivated through these tough moments in your career?
Um, I kind of just, whenever I'm feeling like a way about boxing, I'm not feeling as passionate that day, maybe, or I'm feeling like upset about something else, like an outside force in life, and it's kind of affecting my training regimen. I kind of just have to remind myself, why I began fighting to begin with, why I started doing it, and why I love it so much. And on top of that, I have a really, 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 I can't say really enough, phenomenal team of guys around me. I have a lot of great teammates. I have a great coach, a great family, great support system overall. So they all pretty much keep me in check when I'm starting to slip a little bit. So whenever I'm not doing what I should be, even like my girlfriend, she's always, hey, are you going training today? What are you doing? So I'm grateful for the people around me that keep me in check when I can't do it myself.
Yeah, definitely. As I've been talking to different fighters, a lot of them have brought up how important it has been for them to have like the support of the people around them.
Absolutely.
And like when they're training, I mean, it all feels like their teammates, their coaches, it all feels like a family. And I
Absolutely.
wanted to ask you, how important is it to have this second family and this support from the people around you to just keep going forward?
Oh, it's so important. I mean, for some people, it's more important than others. Some people would kind of just have a natural drive to just be great, regardless of who's watching, who's helping out. You know what I mean? But it's definitely a huge, huge help. There might be days, like I said, where you might not feel like going to training, but if the right teammate says, "Hey, bro, you coming today? I'm ready to spar, or I'm ready to get this working with you," you'll feel like, "Okay, I'm ready to go see my guy in the gym. We're gonna get some work in." You feel motivated. Then you get to the gym, have a great workout. You're like, "Dang, why did I even question wanting to come today?"
Yeah, I mean, it definitely helps, like holding each other accountable and having people that understand what you're going through. Um,
Absolutely.
yeah, and it just like people are just pushing you to be better. I think that's so important. And I wanted to know, looking back at your journey so far, are there any fights or experiences that stand out and that you say like, oh, this was definitely like a turning point for me, that made me feel like I was on the right track or something like that?
Hmm. I would say maybe or my second unofficial fight. It was like a smoker match. I did two of those before I had my first amateur match, my first official amateur match. The second one was the one that I won, and then it gave me a little bit of a confidence boost to make me think, okay, maybe it's something that I could see myself doing for a little bit longer. Because me, I kind of came into it like, all right, I'll just try it out. Because I wasn't really huge on boxing. I kind of would just do it because, like I said, it was in my house. My family did it, but it wasn't my passion at first. So I started taking it seriously back then. Like I said, took the two smoker fights, won one, lost one, and that second one that I won though had me like, all right, maybe I could do something with this. So I took the couple months afterwards to train really hard. I took an amateur fight with Vigilant MMA, and I won that. My first fight, won it by the split decision, and then that kind of shaped like I said, my mindset. Like, okay, I could see myself being successful in this, and success is something that is determined differently by everybody. Your level of success might not mean the same thing to me as someone else's. So I feel like I just want to have a great career, and I want to have fun while I'm doing it, and I want to learn everything I can, fight the best of the best, and just pass that on eventually to my children and the other fighters I'm around, in the gym, and to come forward as well.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's really important how you mentioned that everyone measures success differently. That's something I've definitely felt like talking to so many different people. But it is so important to take into account like, um, maybe success is not just like winning that one time, which also leads to like, maybe if you determine that success is just winning, then if you're only winning, the first time that you lose, you're going to feel like a total failure because that's your key
Uh
to
huh.
success is just winning. But if you have like a
Hmm.
different outlook at it and you look at success as maybe not just like winning, but I think success is standing back up after I fall, for example, then
Right.
I will feel so much more successful and better. Even if I'm losing, I'll be like, oh, but I lost, but I got back into the cage again. So
Mhm.
I still feel successful, and that pushes me to keep going, which I think is really interesting. And I really like how you said it, that everyone can look at it differently.
Absolutely. Yeah, as long as you learn a lesson at the end of the day.
Yeah, we were talking about this earlier. It's either you win or you learn. So you just have to keep that in mind.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so let's jump into talking a little bit about the event that's coming up. We have Valhalloween days away. How are you feeling heading into Valhalloween?
I'm feeling phenomenal. It's been a great week so far. And aside from the fight coming up, I have a lot of great things going on in my personal life. So just gotta thank God for that. Gotta keep the blessings on the hush for right now. But God willing, this would be a great, 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 great weekend. And I'm excited. I'm definitely excited. I'm ready to go, ready to fight.
That's great to hear. I mean, as part of the audience, it's always amazing to come into the fight, and half of the fighters will be really excited
Oh,
and
yeah.
looking forward to it. So it definitely adds up to our experience. Of course, it's gonna add up to your experience. So I wanted to ask you a little bit more about training, and but more specifically about training for this fight. Has there anything like any different focus that you've given to your training preparing for this fight? Anything that you've been doing for the fight?
I don't want to give away too much, because I know my opponent and my opponent's team are obviously gonna listen to this and whatnot, and I know they have their own strategy as well, which I respect. It's anyone's game at the end of the day. But I would say that I have been doing things a little bit differently outside of my normal camp, the camps I've had in the past. Prior to this camp, I've never implemented a genuine diet. Kind of just been eating like not crazy, not nothing super fatty and greasy, but not as controlled as it can be, which it is now. Now I have a my teammate Max the Candyman Quinones, pro MMA fighter. He does a meal prep service called Candyman Cooks, and he gets a couple of our guys in the gym and other people, other athletes as well. He gets their meal prep services. Like he cooks the food and brings it to you. It's good, healthy fuel for your body, and it's delicious as well. And on top of the nutrition stuff, I also have implemented a strength and conditioning regimen with another one of my teammates, Devin Flores, who's an amateur fighter as well. He's been helping me just really tone my body and understand how my body moves, my balance, and just my real dynamics of how movement is. You know what I mean? It's been a really great help, and I feel like it's beginning to make me a lot more of a complete fighter. And I'm definitely ready to showcase the work we put in since then.
Yeah. Do you think this is something that you're gonna like take and use for future preparation for other fights?
Oh, absolutely, because I see the difference now, and I haven't even got to the fight yet. But just in training, I see it in the way that I walk, the way that I breathe, the way that my body feels every day, waking up and going to sleep. And before after training, I would be sore back in the days. Not anymore. I'm not sore anymore. I'm make sure I'm eating right, sleeping better, staying hydrated. I'm getting it down to a science now, so it feels great. I'm really excited to, like I said, show it going forward, and definitely going to keep doing this kind of stuff and make it even better.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. So, what are you expecting from the fight?
I'm definitely expecting it to be a really good fight. I know my opponent a little bit, not personally, but we've crossed paths, time and time here and there, and definitely looking forward to the fight. He's going to be a really good opponent. I'm excited for that because I feel like, not that I haven't had good opponents in the past. My last opponent, his teammate, was a good opponent as well, but I feel like this one's going to be one of those classic fights, if I could put it like that. And I'm
Yeah,
also expecting to win, have my hand raised in victory as well, and become the new champion of the division. Thank you very much.
definitely. Yes, and what would you say that we can expect as the audience from the fight?
You can expect a firefight. You can expect a really good, interesting, and technical fight as well. There's not going to be too much, not sloppiness, but it's going to be a lot more sharp and technical because both of us are experienced boxers, and both of us are, from what I can see and what I've studied and what I can say for myself as well, it's a very good matchup. So hey, kudos to the promoter first of all, the matchmaker for putting that together because I wanted that fight for a little bit now to begin with, and thankfully it fell right into my hands. So I'm ready to get it on, and I'm ready, man. Shout out to my opponent too. I'll give him his respect.
Yes, definitely. I mean, everyone's been preparing for this fight, so you can never underestimate anyone. It's gonna be amazing. And this is
Oh yeah.
my last question before we end the interview. This is something I love asking fighters. What advice would you give to someone that's getting into martial arts, or maybe they're already part of martial arts and they're considering taking the next step and like actually competing? What advice would you give to them?
I would say take your time. Like I said earlier, be patient. You know, take your time. A lot of folks get into the sport and they don't really understand what all comes with it. You know, it looks super cool to watch two guys fighting in a ring or in a cage, and oh wow, they're so tough, they're so strong. Their technique. I want to do that. You start shadow boxing. I want to do that stuff too. You go to the gym and train, but you know, hitting a bag is one thing. Somebody hitting you in sparring is another thing. Someone hitting you in a fight is another thing. You know, and getting hit doesn't feel good. You know, so it's I say be patient, take your time with it, really learn the ins and outs of the fight game as far as, you know, the fighting itself, but also things that go into it and things that come out of it, and enjoy your journey as well. You know, don't rush it just because you feel like you should be at a certain point or someone tells you you should be at a certain point. You know, you kind of have to walk yourself through it. You know, don't really let too many outside sources have a say on how you move and how you approach it, and enjoy it all overall.
Yeah, that's definitely great advice. Thank you so much, Angel. This is your moment now. I'm going to give you a minute to talk to our audience. You can invite them to the fight. They definitely don't want to miss it. So
Mhm.
it's your time to invite them.
What's going on, folks? I am Angel Calderon Jr., the creature of Christ, out of Tampa, Florida. I train at the Wolves Den and Death War. We are the Wolves. You know what I mean? Tampa, Florida. We're coming to do it, man. We're coming to your city, Valhalla. We're coming out to Venice, and we're gonna perform. We have four, possibly five guys, including myself, coming out to fight for my team. So expect fireworks from every single one of us, man. We're coming hard, and we're gonna get it done. Shout out to the Wolves, man. Shout out to my coach. Shout out to the guys on the team, my wonderful partner, my family and friends, and the men above. And thank you guys for having me as well. I appreciate y'all so much. Thank you.